Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. So, we're tackling a topic today that, let's be honest, pretty much every driver absolutely dreads, but you definitely need to know about. We're talking about how to efficiently pay a Norfolk parking ticket online so you can avoid some seriously massive headaches down the road. If you ever drive in Norfolk, Virginia, trust me, this is essential viewing.
Look, we've all been there, right? You walk back to your car after an awesome afternoon in Ghent or hanging out downtown, and boom, there it is. That bright, ridiculously frustrating piece of paper wedged right under your windshield wiper. Talk about an instant day ruiner. Now, you might be tempted to just, shove it in your glove box and deal with it later. But as we're about to see, that is literally the worst thing you can do. So today, we're walking you through the entire online process to get this resolved fast. Now, what's really interesting here is this actual horror story shared by a user on the Norfolk subreddit. They posted about having a staggering $600 in street sweeping tickets. And get this, they weren't even a year old. So how in the world does a standard $60 fine snowball into a $600 mountain of debt and a lovely letter from a collections agency? Well, it happens incredibly fast if you don't understand the system. To make sure you never end up in that kind of nightmare, here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll quickly cover the basics of Norfolk tickets, followed by accessing the online portal and making your payment. Then we'll get into troubleshooting and late fees, and finally wrap up with appeals and practical tips. Nice and easy. All right, Section 1, Basics of Norfolk Tickets, Understanding Your Citation. Basically, a citation is issued by parking enforcement for violating the city's motor vehicle code. And addressing it immediately? Absolutely crucial. The city of Norfolk really doesn't mess around here. Their main goal is compliance, to ensure public safety, street maintenance, and accessible parking for everyone. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what you're up against from day one. Taking a look at the base fine schedule, simple overtime parking at a meter will run you $35. Getting caught during street cleaning, which, by the way, is a notorious issue in leafy neighborhoods like Ghent, that'll hit you for $60. Block a fire hydrant, that jumps to $150. And unauthorized parking in a handicap space carries a really steep $300 fine. Section 2. Accessing the online portal. Navigating the digital system. So you know what you owe, but how do you actually pay it without, driving all the way down to the Parking Customer Service Center on East Main Street? Thankfully, the city has a digital infrastructure set up specifically for this. It's actually super straightforward. Step 1, just grab your smartphone or hop on your computer and visit dsparkingportal.com/NorfolkVA. You can also find it by searching the city's official e-services page. Step 2, once you're in the portal, you need to look up your specific record. Because of privacy reasons, you have to do a direct query. You can just type in the citation number right off the ticket, or if you happen to lose the ticket, hey, it happens, don't panic. You can also search using your license plate number in the state it's registered in, or just type in your complete VIN, your vehicle identification number. Step 3 is just reviewing those citation details once they pop up. Section 3, making your payment, completing the transaction. Once you've got your citation up on the screen, you'll be relieved to know that the whole payment processing engine is hosted by a highly secure third-party vendor. It's totally designed to safely handle your credit and debit card transactions. The checkout process itself is a breeze, but you really have to pay attention to the details here. First, verify the ticket information carefully. Look, mistakes happen when citations are written. Maybe they got a digit wrong on your license plate, or the time is way off. Just make sure the ticket actually belongs to you. Next, select your payment method. They accept all major credit and debit cards. Before you hit submit, confirm your payment details. Oh, and always retain a copy of your digital receipt. You definitely want that proof just in case there's some weird processing error later on. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 4, troubleshooting and late fees, the cost of waiting. This is where a tiny little inconvenience can literally transform into a financial disaster. According to Chapter 25 of Norfolk's Motor Vehicle Code, the city uses a very strict statutory escalation path for unpaid tickets. Here's exactly how that timeline breaks down. You get a 30-day grace period. Nice, right? But on day 31, boom, an automatic $50 penalty gets slapped onto your base fine. If you ignore it until day 91, they tack on another $20 penalty. Hit day 115, and they add a $25 fee to initiate a DMV hold. So that original $60 street sweeping ticket, it just exploded into $155 before you could even blink.
And honestly, it gets worse. Unpaid cases get forwarded straight to a contracted collection agency. If you let 3 or more unpaid tickets pile up, your car is officially eligible to be booted and towed. Remember that Reddit user we mentioned earlier? Yeah, they were towed while out of town, and by the time they got their car back, the storage fees alone had hit $500. Plus, there's a $10 admin fee just to release a towed vehicle, a $35 fee if a check bounces, and a $25 fee if they have to intercept your state tax refund. It is ridiculously easy to see how you end up with a $600 bill. Section 5, Appeals and Practical Tips. Knowing your options. Okay, we've talked enough about those brutal fees. Let's shift gears and talk solutions. What if you get a ticket that you are 100% sure was a mistake? Well, you absolutely have the right to dispute it. So the crucial point is this number, 30. You have exactly 30 days from the issue date on that ticket to formally contest it in Norfolk. If you drag your feet and miss that 30-day window, you completely waive your right to an appeal, and the whole thing just automatically goes to collections. If you're going to dispute it, you need to build a strong case. Be proactive. Gather photographic evidence right away. Snap pictures of broken meters, confusing signs, or exactly how your car was parked. Then, submit a professionally written appeal letter through the online portal. Now, this is critical. Do not pay the ticket if you're planning to appeal it. Paying it essentially means you're admitting liability, and it makes it almost impossible to reverse. Lastly, if your appeal moves to a court hearing, make sure you show up on time. I do have to give you a quick warning, though. The Norfolk Parking Division is literally hired to enforce the code strictly. Take this story from a local resident who got super sick with the flu, totally slept through their alarms, and missed moving their car for street sweeping. They sent a kindly worded appeal, even attached a screenshot of their positive flu test. And the city promptly rejected it. Basically, appeals usually only work if the city made a legitimate administrative error, not for personal emergencies. Which brings us to some practical tips from locals who've definitely learned the hard way. First, set recurring calendar reminders on your phone for street sweeping days, a total lifesaver. Second, read every single posted sign carefully, especially in spots like Ghent, where the rules can literally change from one block to the next. If you do find yourself buried in fines, go to the parking office in person, stay calm, and just ask for a payment plan. They're actually pretty willing to help out if you're polite. And finally, always check dsparkingportal.com/NorfolkVA a few days after you pay, just to verify your balance actually says zero. Just a quick note before we wrap things up today. This explainer provides general information for educational purposes. Things like municipal rules, exact fee structures, and even portal URLs can, and often do, change. So always double-check the details and procedures on the official City of Norfolk websites before you take any action. We're going to leave you with this final thought. Is ignoring that initial $60 street sweeping ticket really worth a $600 headache and a miserable trip to the impound lot? Taking just 5 minutes to hop on that online portal can literally save you months of stress. So, have you ever successfully fought a parking ticket in Norfolk? Or maybe you've got some extra tips of your own for avoiding them. Let us know in the comments. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer. Stay safe out there, read those parking signs, and we'll see you next time.